Well, hello there, friends, and thank you for joining us for the Eclipse 2024, a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm really glad you're here to experience this with us and celebrate with us. Now, as I said in the post, it's nothing fancy, just a live cam set up in the yard. And we're going to try to experience it as best we can. We're going to leave the really good, high quality professional shots for the professionals. But I do have the ability to put these X-ray specs, 3D X-ray specs, crime fighting specs over the camera, and we can get a shot of it with this camera we're using. It's not going to be a great shot of close up or anything like that, but we will be able to view it. And we've been, pardon me, I've got a cold I'm struggling with. I'm going to cough every now and then. But we've been viewing it, and it's about a third to a halfway obstructed right now. So we are getting there, and it's getting a little bit cooler. If you look in the yard, it doesn't look any different visibly. It doesn't feel like it's dimming yet, but it's supposed to dim at 3:30. It's 3 o'clock now, so we've got a little bit of time. And the full eclipse, when it's completely blocked by the moon, is supposed to be 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to be here for that and celebrate that, have fun with that. Before we go too much further, I want to do just a couple of little housekeeping things. I want to make sure everything is working properly. So if you can see my face, hear my voice, please leave some comments. Let me know where you're viewing this from. Also, let me know where you're viewing from and whether or not you've seen any kind of eclipse activity. If you're further south and west from us, it's possible you've seen it already, or maybe you're just out of the quote unquote zone and you're getting a partial eclipse, or maybe you're away from that zone and not getting anything. So pardon me, in the comments, please let me know what you've experienced so far. And if this is your first eclipse or if you've never experienced anything like this is the first time for me. Also, another housekeeping thing is I've got music going softly in the background. I want to know how that's working. Is that a competition? Is the music competing with me? Am I competing with the music? Do I need to turn it down a little? Please leave some comments. I'm going to come over now and check comments and kind of see how we're doing. And then we're going to get right into the experience here. Yes, my good friend James White says, I see snow. If you'd been here a couple of days ago, you would have seen a foot of snow, but it's melting very quickly. And that's why the yard looks like the mess that it is because we're losing our snow. We haven't had a chance to clean up. Midnight Rider says, thank you, Mike. Clouds and rain in northwest Minnesota. Very cool. And also, sir, you've got some nice videos that you sent me. We're going to be using those in the season finale of the Vintage Snowmobile podcast this coming Thursday. I was sick Thursday and couldn't do it. I had to postpone it. Still sick, and I'm still going to cough every now and then. Instead of a coffee break, I take a cough break. But that's what it is, and we're rolling with it. Michael Delage, my good friend, says, can hear you and see you. Appreciate that. Says he cannot hear the music. Okay, good. Thank you for that feedback. Let me turn it up here in a moment. Someone on Facebook is saying cloudy here in Syracuse, New York. Oh, yeah. Someone says, happy birthday, Mike, and enjoy your day, our friend. And I appreciate that. It's someone on Facebook. And yeah, that's another thing to discuss. Yeah, it's talk about coincidences and stars aligning, planets aligning, all of this. It's my birthday, my 60th birthday. Go figure to have that happen on the eclipse. Just unbelievable coincidence. And I want to thank everyone who's been on my Facebook profile, leaving messages, birthday wishes, greetings, all of that. Old childhood friends, new friends, everything in between, relatives. It's been really, really nice. It's made it a really enjoyable birthday. So thank you so much for that. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a jet going by. Let's see if we can get some of that. And we've got eaves blocking us from looking at the sun. But yeah, let's, I'm going to move the tripod out a little bit and we're going to take a look at the sun. I've practiced this a couple of times. It's not going to be any kind of professional shot like you've been seeing on TV. It's going to be very amateurish. And I'm not going to be able to see it myself, so I'm just kind of guessing here, but let's see what happens. Oh, there it is. And pardon me, I'm struggling with a hell of a cold here. But yeah, the sun is in the frame there. And I'm going to take the tripod back into the garage just because that's where I can read the comments that are coming in. So let me know, if you would, in the comments, how did that look? Could you see any obstruction? You know, the moon blocking the sun, or how did that look? Because that's just a one of these, you know, these glasses in front of the camera on a cell phone. So, you know, I don't know how that all looked, and I couldn't see it very well, but I could see that I had it in the frame. Oh, James White says, "Oh heck, happy birthday, Mikey." Well, thank you. And oh no, thank you. Michael Delage says, "You were so lucky, Mike, to have a birthday with the eclipse," and I have to agree. That's the odds of that are just unbelievable. It's almost like winning the lottery. And I did buy a lottery ticket, so maybe the luck will continue with the stars and planets being aligned. Who knows? Pardon me, all to hell here. My good friend Bada Bing says, "Happy birthday to my buddy. All the best to you," and thank you so much. Okay, Michael Delage says, "Looks good, but could not see the moon blocking." Thank you for letting me know on that. That is coming, though. Bada Bing says, "Very cool. Thank you very much." Oh, yes, James Whiteside wants to know if Michael Delage is watching it inside of Monte Carlo, because Michael Delage likes Monte Carlos. Now, I have to add, a lot of the people viewing this are friends from the Muscle Car podcast and the Vintage Snowmobile podcast, because that's where this podcast is going out. It goes out to, we're going out to 6 different places across Facebook and YouTube. One of them is my Vintage Snowmobile audience, where I do the Vintage Snowmobile podcast, and the other is where I do the Muscle Car podcast. And if you're viewing on either of those social media properties and wondering, well, what the hell, this doesn't have anything to do with vintage snowmobiles or muscle cars, what's going on here? What's going on here is I just happen to be living in the exact line of the eclipse, and I'm taking advantage of it and just sharing with my friends. If it's not for you, you know, there's plenty of other things you can look at, but I'm doing it because I can, and hopefully it's fun for all of us. Oh, yes. And Bada Bing says, "Win, Mike, win." Well, thank you. Oh, and yes, yeah, it's starting to darken a little bit. Midnight Rider says, "Happy 60th, Mike. Your vintage sled podcasts have been beyond awesome all winter. Keep up the great work." And thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, and appreciate that you view it on a regular basis. You are one of the most regular viewers we have. And we're going to be sharing your footage here this coming week for the season finale. And Michael Delage says, "James Whiteside, I'm watching from my apartment." Cool deal. So I'm going to step out for a second and just kind of look at how it looks, check it out what the condition of the condition is, and then I'm going to come back and bring the camera out to give you guys a look. Oh yeah, it's halfway. Yeah, it's a little more than halfway. So let's take this out here. Yeah, it looks like a crescent moon. It doesn't seem much dimmer, but all right, let me put the X-ray specs over this here, and I'm gonna try to give you guys a look. And I cannot see very well. Oh, there it is. Now, for me, through all of this, it doesn't look like it's blocked at all. So I don't know, but what I do know is this: once we get to where it's completely blocked, I'll give you a view with the camera, just the bare camera without the crime fighting glasses. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, no, that just makes it worse. But so a couple of thoughts that I had. Oh, here we go. We've got VSCA Magazine. My good friend Mike Mahar logged in from Minnesota. Nice to see you, Mike. I'm glad that you're on here. Now, Mike, I have to say, is one of the absolute top promoters of vintage snowmobiles in the entire vintage snowmobile space. He does the VSCA Magazine, which is Vintage Snowmobile Club of America. He publishes that magazine. He's also the president of that club. He hosts countless events. He also hosts and organizes Minnesota pond racing. And I'm sure I'm forgetting things. He is just so busy and so active, and just one of the top promoters that you could ever imagine in the vintage snowmobile space. And we thank him for all of that activity that he does, because he's a hell of a guy, and he does a lot to promote the vintage snowmobiling. We've got another jet going by, a lot of that today. So thank you, Mike, for viewing with us. We appreciate that. James Whiteside says sitting out on the deck and he can't tell any difference. Yeah, same here. Right now, to the naked eye, it doesn't look any different, but it will soon, I'm hoping. Yeah, yeah. My mother is saying it's not as shiny as it was on the roof. And they're also saying you can expect shadows, funny-looking shadows, and I'm expecting them off that roof. But at this point, we're not seeing any yet. Now, someone on Facebook is saying cloudy here in Ontario, Canada. Someone on Facebook is saying happy birthday, Mike. I thank you for that. Yeah, I apologize that I'm struggling with this cough, but one of the things that I wanted to discuss is you think about before there was a scientific explanation for a solar or lunar eclipse, what primitive people must have thought this was that they were experiencing. And if you have thoughts and opinions about that, feelings about that, please post it in the comments. I've got a couple thoughts of my own. Now, I've got a thought of as an example of maybe divine intervention. Let's say in a primitive culture, 500 to 1,000 years ago, you get someone who's going to go out and slay their mortal enemy, and they're on their way to do that in the middle of the day, and all of a sudden it gets dark, and they're like, oh well, this could be divine intervention. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this is a sign, right? And you think of another collective variation of that where you've got a tribe that's going to go out and attack a rival tribe, and they're headed for their village in the middle of the day, and all of a sudden it gets dark. It's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing that, So I'm thinking examples of like that could be happening because at that point they did not have a scientific explanation for what was going on. So, and if they were doing something they knew maybe wasn't such a good idea, that might have been their immediate reaction. And then so that's divine intervention. Another variation on that could be instant karma. So let's say that they've gone out and done these things. The guy who's gone out to slay his rival, his enemy or whatever. He's done that. Now he's on his way home, and it's in the middle of the day, and it gets dark. So, oh, I'm in trouble now. What have I done? And the same thing. If you've gone out and attacked a village and killed all these people, and this heinous, horrible act, and you think you're this big victorious, the victorious situation, and now you're on your way home in the middle of the day, and it gets dark out, and you're like, oh, I'm in trouble now. What have I done? So those are the things that come to mind to me, how this might have been experienced by primitive cultures, primitive people before there was a scientific explanation for an eclipse. I'm going to come around now and look at the comments, see if you got what kind of thoughts came to mind for you guys viewing this, how that might have been interpreted. So Sandy Spranger says hello from Eland, Wisconsin. Good friend of mine, and so is her husband. This must be her husband also. Yes, John Spranger Jr. Cool deal. And I'm so glad you guys are viewing with us today. And I'm going to check the eclipse one more time, see how we're doing, and then I'm going to bring the camera out and give you guys another look, and hopefully you'll start to be able to see it in the screen. But again, these are not professional shots. This is just some amateur holding his X-ray specs in front of the camera. It is dimming a little bit. Yeah, the crescent moon is even more of a crescent moon. We're probably 2/3 blocked right now. So I'm going to bring the camera out and see if I can give you another look. And like I said, I'm leaving the professional shots to the professionals. This is just an amateur thing for us, having a good time. And I appreciate that you guys are hanging out with me, doing this with me. It makes for a fun experience, and it makes for a fun birthday. Oh, there it is, yeah. Now, I can't see very well in the viewfinder, but that doesn't look obstructed at all to me. But with the glasses just standing there, the glasses in front of the naked eye, we're almost 2/3 of the way there, and it's it's 3:15 here in Northern Vermont, and it's supposed to be completely eclipsed, if you will, at 3:30. So it won't be long. And oh, here we go. Oh yes, yeah. Michael Delage says heard that the Native Americans thought it was a bad omen, and that's very possible. I'm sure a lot of people thought it was apocalyptic. Other people thought it could be a miracle. And I'm sure there's everything in between. Oh, yes. Here we go. A good childhood friend of mine, Eric Medor, is in the house viewing this. And thank you, Eric, for coming on. I hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you since we were teenagers, but boy, we had a lot of fun back in those days. Eric was real good friends with my brother, and he used to come to the house a lot. And the three of us used to have a lot of good times together. And it's really great to see Eric. Eric, yeah, my mother's asking, where do you live now? And if you're comfortable posting that, we'd love to hear that and how you're doing, what you're doing. And if you think this is a miracle or an apocalypse. Let's see. Daryl Thompson says, I'm in Ontario. Just started to get a bit darker here. Cool deal. I appreciate the updates. Cool deal. So yeah, it won't be long, folks. And I appreciate that you're here. Like I said, in case you're just joining us, we're just hanging out in the yard here waiting for the eclipse. We're in Northern Vermont, right in the direct path of the apocalypse. And as I said, I'm struggling with a cold. So I've got a continuous cough, which is just a pain in the butt. Oh, here we go. Eric Medor says he's living in Portsmouth, New Hampshire right now, right on the coast. Very cool. Yeah, it's really good to hear from you, Eric. I appreciate that. Oh, we've got another plane going over. We get the vapor trails. Wow. So, well, let's take a look. She says it's, yeah, the crescent is getting slimmer and slimmer. Yeah, me too. I thought it was going to be darker than this too. I was expecting complete darkness, but maybe I'm wrong. This is all new to me. Not sure what to expect, but we're all in it together. Oh, here we go. Yes, here we go. Eric says lots of adventures at Lake Wallace and hello to your mom. Yes, indeed, we sure did. We had a lot of good times together, and we used to listen to Rush, the band, a lot. I had a great time doing that. Yes, my mother says hello back, by the way. She doesn't want to come on camera. She's just kind of being the peanut gallery over there making comments. And then someone on Facebook saying, hello, Michael up here from New Hampshire. I wonder if that's my good friend, Jeff Gibbs, because I know he was planning to watch today. If you're out there, Jeff, please say hello. Now, he was in touch earlier. He works down at Dartmouth Hitchcock Hospital in Lebanon, New Hampshire, and he was saying that the hospital isn't terribly busy today, but the traffic is unbelievable. And I've also heard that I-91 as you go north has been crazy all day. But I imagine whoever's watching the eclipse is where they're planning to be. For their sake, I hope they are. And as I say this, I hear horns blowing, so maybe people are trying to park, and they're like, get out of the way, I'm trying to park so I can see the eclipse. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, it's strange. I don't know what to expect. But yeah, it's a crescent. I'm going to come check it again. Yeah, it's a very slender crescent right now. I'll take you out for another look. That's why you're all here. This is amateur as hell, but it's all we've got. Now we're trying to have fun with it. All right, let's give it another look here. It looks different than it did through the viewfinder, but I don't see a crescent in the viewfinder. Again, the glasses over the naked eye is a very slender crescent right now. And I'm going to bring the tripod back in the garage so I can read some more comments. I see they're coming in. Good. My good friend Thomas B. He's saying, enjoying the eclipse here in Carterville, New York. He says, looking good for 60. How'd you get this scheduled for your birthday? I pulled some serious strings on this one, my friends. And paid big money to make this happen on my birthday. Here we go. Alan Go from New Hampshire says, hello. Nice to see you, Alan. Appreciate that. And that was probably you earlier. Yes, saying happy birthday. Appreciate that. Yeah. And Michael Delage says, looking eerie in Cumberland, Rhode Island, only getting a 90% view here. And yeah, Eric is saying you should have darkness at totality. And God, we're getting dangerously close to totality. It's slightly dimmer, but it's You know, it's not bad. Oh, here we go. Oh, my good friend Rob Hilditch and co-host on both the Vintage Snowmobile podcast and the Muscle Car podcast says Rob Hilditch here in Ontario, and it's really cloudy here. Can't see the sun, but it's starting to get a little darker now. Cool. I appreciate these updates. I'm going to step off to the side here and have a coughing fit. I'll be right back. Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah, apologize for the coughing. I'm just struggling with a hell of a cold, but yeah, I don't know. It might. So let's see here. It is getting a little dimmer. Let's see. Yeah, and the crescent is getting slimmer. We should see something here before long, and it's 3:20 here in Northern Vermont. So in 10 minutes, it's supposed to be at the peak totality. So anyone else have comments of what they've seen where they're living, as far as whether it's gone by yet, or it's in the zone, or whether you're seeing something partial or complete? It's definitely getting dimmer. I don't know how dark it's going to get, but we're about to find out. We'll find out together. Oh yes, we are. Yeah, the neighbor's out in the yard watching. I don't know. I don't know if you can see her over there, but looks like she's looking the other way, but I can't tell for sure. And yeah, that could be. But yeah, let me check. Yeah, that slender, that crescent is getting very slender. Yeah, we should be close to totality here very soon. Yeah. Now to Eric, did it get dim where you are? Did you see anything at all, or are you too far south, or what's it looking like in Portsmouth? Oh, here we go. Rob Hilditch in Ontario said yes, it's dark now. Wow, very cool. So it's coming, and it's cooling down. They say as you get close to totality, it cools down a little, and you can feel the slight breeze. Oh, here we go. Eric Medora says a bit dimmer, but not really noticeable without glasses. Yeah, cool deal. I appreciate that, Eric. Yeah, so we're getting close to totality here. Well, it's just a very slender crescent. And we have achieved totality, I'll bring the camera out and point it right at it so we can all experience that together. Oh, here we go. Midnight Rider says no difference in light in northwest Minnesota. Just like looks like a normal cloudy day here. Yeah, I appreciate that.
But it doesn't look like a cloudy day. It looks like a dim sun day. It's not as bright.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't seen any strange shadows either. I don't know. We might have to ask for a refund. So Eric says you should get close to 2 minutes of near darkness being in the full path. Yes. Yeah. Cool deal. Yeah, this should be interesting. We're getting dangerously close, my friends. Yeah, I can feel that breeze that they warned us about. Yeah, very slender crescent right now. What do you think? Is this a good look? Should I wear these on the podcast? With a little cup asking for nickels? Oh, here we go. More comments. My good friend Bada Bing says New York is the same cloudy day, no darkness. Yes, refund agreed. Yes, cool deal. Well, if I get one, I'll share it with you. Cool deal. And you're down near the city, correct? Down near New York City. Is that, do I understand that correctly?
Almost there.
Yeah, it is getting darker.
It's not the same darkness as cloudy. Cloudy, there's no shadows, there's no, it's like, it's sunny, but it's dimmer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a strange kind of light for sure. Kind of a silvery quality to it. Still get shadows though, like the shadows of the trees here and about the center of the frame. But they say they're supposed to kind of swim like fish or something, which I'm not seeing, but and I've been looking for it off that metal roof to see if there's any kind of strange shadows, but I've not seen any. Ah. Oh, here we go. Yes, Bada Bing says no nickels, Mike. Only the 50s on Long Island, New York. Cool. Cool deal.
What about
Michael Delage says cooler here and getting darker, but I have no glasses to view. Someone on Facebook saying some miracle the clouds open and get a look at the eclipse in Elon, Wisconsin. Got only 3/4 coverage, didn't get dark. This is John Springer Jr. Yeah, I appreciate that, John. And have I missed any comments? No, I think I've got everybody. Yeah, we're getting darn close. It's getting dim. It's a strange kind of light. It's kind of silvery. Yeah, we're getting very, very close. And once we have the complete obstruction, I'm going to bring you out for work. Yeah, very slender present.
bunch of birds yesterday?
Oh, what are you seeing with the birds? Oh, headed for their nests. Yeah, and they say the birds and stuff will do their nighttime rituals, heading for their nest, and bees, and yeah, it's getting dim. Now, to the people viewing, does it look any dimmer from the camera? As you're viewing it, does it look any dimmer for you, or is the camera compensating for that? Now, Eric is saying you should experience it very soon, saying it's 3:26. And my good friend Dirk Seams out in Minnesota says mostly cloudy in Minnesota. Cool deal. Yeah, thank you for the updates. Yeah, it just got noticeably dimmer. And I'm wondering if the camera's compensating for that or if it's looking dimmer for you guys viewing at home. And I think we are getting close. Let me see. Very, very close. Yeah. Too close to look at with the camera or the naked eye, but we're getting there. Now, Eric says it does look dimmer as he's viewing it from his end. Cool deal, because it's getting very dim right now. It's weird, but it's dim, but there's still shadows, and it's a strange phenomenon for sure. Yeah, it's still sunny.
Almost there.
That's a testament too to how bright, incredibly bright the sun is, because it's 7/8% obstructed, and we're still getting a shadow. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Midnight Rider says looks dimmer through the camera. Rob Hilditch says it got dark here for about 2 minutes, but too cloudy to see the sun. Yeah, and it's getting very dark now. Let's see. Yeah, it's not even a crescent anymore. It's like just a sliver, tiny little sliver. Yeah, and I can tell just, oh, they say you can see planets in the sky, and I can see a star. Yeah, I'm going to take you out in just a minute with the camera. Oh, the light is getting strange.
No shadows, look.
Yeah, it's miraculous. Yeah, it's miraculous and apocalyptic at the same time. Yeah, it's getting very dark. Now, Tom Benedetto says we have darkness in New York. You can see the line just like near darkness at twilight. Yeah. Oh, look at this now. All right. Yeah, we're there. We're there. Let me take you out for a look. Oh, and of course, the motion sensing lights are coming on, but yeah, the camera's not doing it justice. You'll have to. Yeah, I know, and that's going to be on for 30 seconds. But this is it, people. And it's dark. Yes. I wish this motion light. Here we go. The motion light just. Oh, there's two of them on. Well, that's kind of wrecking our vibe here. The motion sensing lights, because they came on when I stepped out from the garage. But yeah, this is amazing. This would make me think twice if I had bad intentions, either to go hurt someone or if I'd coming back from hurting someone. This would freak me the hell out. What about you guys? You know, the thing I was talking about earlier, as far as what primitive people might have thought of this. Yeah, and Bada Bing says, "Oh shoot, spooky."
Somebody was getting married.
Oh, my mother says someone was going to get married during this. Here we go. The motion sensing lights have gone off. Midnight Rider says it's getting very dark through your camera in just the last few seconds. Dirk Seamer says the same thing, getting dark on the camera. We are experiencing it, my friends. We are in it. Oh, and the damn motion sensing lights keep coming on. Well, what are you going to do? What do you want for nothing, right? But yeah, we're experiencing it, my friends. And I don't know if, yeah, you can see just below the sun and to the right there's at the top of that tree, there's a star, and someone's lighting fireworks off too, which is a great idea. Yeah, unbelievable. And now we're getting the diamond ring. And as that happens, I'm going to pull the camera away because I don't want to damage this. This is my cell phone. And oh, and here we go. My good friend Dirk Seams says, "Happy birthday, Mike. Better light for your birthday candles." Oh, better light my birthday candles. Yes. So yeah, once we get the diamond ring, I'm going to pull it away because I don't want to damage this camera. But yeah, darkness in the middle of the day. Oh, the motion sensing lights just went off. Unreal, man. To experience this in person is really something. No, it's not dark, but it's dark. Yeah, it's definitely. I can only imagine, what primitive cultures and primitive people would have thought of this. Yes, just before, when dusk turns to dark, right about then. Yeah, and we're getting the diamond ring, and I'm going to pull it away here, but yeah, look at that. It's dark. And of course, I have that motion light on behind me.
I wonder if anybody knows, doesn't know about it.
I can't imagine. And I wonder what they think. All right, so I'm going to get back in the garage where I'm away from those motion sensing lights so we can experience the darkness and get our money's worth on that. Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh, geez, yeah. You look at the sun now and you need the glasses now. Wow. And it's a crazy type of light. It's because, usually in the morning, when the morning light, it's low in the sky and it creates different shadows, but this is light that's from overhead. Crazy. Oh, and Tom says, thank you for this experience. Yeah, this isn't a once in a lifetime experience.
Doesn't take much sun to create shadows. Look.
Yeah, and now we're back to just a crescent that's lighting this up, a slender crescent.
Wow.
And I have to add, my dear father, who passed away just a couple of weeks ago, he was born in the year 1932, the last time they had a total eclipse of the sun here in Vermont. And he passed away just a couple of weeks ago when they had the next one, 91 years later. And he would have loved this. I wish he could be here to experience this. But we're sure thinking of him, that's for sure. Yeah, and it's amazing how quickly it's getting light just from a slender crescent. Let's see. Yeah, Just a slender crescent is all it's doing to illuminate this. And the moon is a slender crescent. Can anyone name that song lyric? If you can, I'll give you a shiny new quarter. What an experience. And I'm so glad that I had my virtual friends on here to experience this with us. This is a real treat, a real experience. This is a birthday I won't soon forget.
Can't get a better party than that.
No, a celestial party. Unbelievable. Oh, excuse me.
Wow. It's amazing how little sun can, how little sliver of the sun can light up so much.
Yeah. And the crescent is glowing. It's growing, I should say. It's still just a slender crescent, but it's growing. Unreal. But we'll go a few more minutes, let things brighten a little more, and then we'll wind this down. But I really appreciate it that everyone was on here with me. And oh yes, yeah, we're starting to see birds in the trees again. I bet they went straight for their nest when it got dark like that. Yeah, the critters are coming back out. Yeah, I bet they're wondering what the heck was going on. That was a short night. Yeah, crazy.
Hurry up, need some heat, getting cold.
Yeah, it cooled down. I bet it cooled down a good 10, 15 degrees and waiting for that to come back. Oh, there's some new comments. Let me look here. Oh, here we go. Yes, Tom says the cameras do compensate for darkness, makes it look lighter than with the naked eye. It's very true. James Whiteside says my neighbor just brought over some Eclipse glasses. It was cool, and I've seen it. Very cool. I'm glad you got to experience that. Yeah, this is a once in a lifetime experience, and I'm glad that you guys are all here with me for this. This is wonderful. I'm gonna step out for another look. Yeah, the crescent is getting bigger now. It's probably a quarter, a little less than a quarter of the sun exposed now.
Yeah, it's flying. Oh,
Yeah, that might even be a Jeezum crow. Oh, more comments. I'm glad you guys are making comments too. This makes it really fun. Oh, here we go. Michael Delage, who's a serious photographer, says I took a few shots with the camera without any special lens and with feather-like clouds around the sun. Very cool. Yeah, you'll have to send me a copy of that, Mike. I'd like to see that. Wow. Yeah, I took a quick glance with the naked eye, and it's getting brighter. Yeah, it's still not quite a quarter of the sun back, but it's amazing. It's a testament to how powerful the sun is that, just a sliver, not even a quarter, has illuminated things back up again. And the kind of trouble we'd be in if we didn't have the sun, just to have the moon in front of it like that, just for a couple of minutes. Yeah, what an experience. My only regret is those damn motion sensing lights, and I just put those up recently too. But what are you going to do? It would have been more interesting without those lights on. But they're right here by the garage door, so I step out of the garage and they come on for me. What are you going to do? So while we're just waiting for the sun to make its return, I want to promote the podcasts. We've got the Muscle Car Show and Tell podcast Wednesday night. We'll be going live for that. Michael Delage, one of the co-hosts, is on here with us, as is Rob Hilditch. I was in touch with Virgil earlier today. He's also another co-host of it. He's at his house watching it from the deck in Stowe, Vermont. He's got an excellent view, and he's right in the zone for it. So, yeah, he's got a great situation there for it. Also, Thursday evening, we're going to do the season finale for the Vintage Snowmobile podcast. Be sure to join us for that. We're going to have Jim Layton on, good friend, and he's been on the podcast many times. He's got some cool stuff to show us. It's going to be a great time. And as I said, that'll be the season finale for the Vintage Snowmobile podcast until October when we pick that up again. It's a lot of work doing 2 podcasts a week. That's why I don't do the Muscle Car podcast every week during the winter months. It's just too much with a full-time job and everything else going on. But now that summer is here and we're retiring the Vintage Snowmobile podcast for the summer, we're going to go full throttle, pun intended, on the Muscle Car podcast. And I've got a lot of cool things I want to do with it over the summer. So please stay tuned for that. Here we go. Yeah, Midnight Rider says it cooled down that much. Yes, it sure did. We could really feel it. Yes, thank you for sharing. Back to work. Yeah. Thank you for being part of this, Eric. It's really great to hear from you. As I said, anyone to people watching this, Eric is a childhood friend. He and my brother were really good friends when they were kids, and he used to come to the house a lot, and we used to all have a great time together. And it's really great to see you on here, Eric. We appreciate that. Yeah, someone on Facebook, happy birthday. Thank you very much for that. Midnight Rider says, you got till 2044 to take the motion lights down. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to have to get right on that. Wonder if any of us will be around for that next one. I hope so, but I can't make any promises. But that would be nice. But I'll be sure to take those down next time for sure. That's the one thing with foresight, 2020 hindsight, I would have taken those down or covered them or done something with them. But, what are you going to do? This is how we learn. No do-overs either. But, yeah, so in the next few minutes here, we're going to wind this down because we're getting back to normal. It's probably still a quarter crescent. Let me take a look. Yeah, we're coming on to about a quarter of a crescent. And right now it's looking close to what normal is supposed to be out here. But we're going to wind it down. But if you guys have any final comments, closing thoughts, closing comments about this experience of experiencing the eclipse together, please make comments. We'll go for a few more minutes so you guys can make comments. And yeah, really, really appreciate this. It made it an extra special birthday, I'll tell you that. Not every birthday you get to experience something like this. I'm going to step away for a coughing fit. I'll be right back. Oh, here we go. Let's see. We got comments coming in. Yeah, Midnight Rider says, back to work. Thank you for the experience. See you Thursday for the finale of the Vintage Snowmobile podcast, concluding season 2024. And appreciate that. And yes, my good friend Claudia Clark is on here. She says, thank you for doing this. Great to see you, Claudia. Claudia is a dear friend of mine. She was a client of mine back in the 90s, and we've been friends all through the years. And it's really nice to have you on here, Claudia. Very, very cool. Oh, and here we go. Good friend Rob Hilditch and co-host for both of the podcasts is saying, have a great birthday, and I appreciate that. And I have to say, it has been a great birthday. It's tough to top this. Oh, yes, and Claudia says, you're very welcome. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll just give it another minute here, and then we'll just wind this all down. And yeah, what an experience. And one of the things I'm wondering is, a lot of out-of-staters are up here. The highways have been jammed, and I think it's probably quiet now because everyone was hopefully where they were supposed to be for the eclipse. But now that it's over, are they all leaving at once, en masse, or are they going to stay here for a while and kind of leave in dribs and drabs so it doesn't clog up the highways? just wondering how that's going to go. But I'm sure glad that I'm here at home. I haven't left the property all day, and that was my intention, and I'm going to stick to it just because I don't want any part of that. But for all of the people who are out there, I do wish them well. I hope they have a good, safe travel. Daryl Thompson says, "Hey, Mike, it was like a storm moving in, and it got a lot brighter here just now. Yes, it's getting brighter by the minute." James Whiteside says, "Thank you, Mikey. Now I have a piece of birthday cake for you. Thank you." Oh, and Claudia says, "Good plan. Yes. Cool deal. Cool deal." I'm going to take another look at it here, and then we're going to be winding down here in the next minute or so.
There's still a sliver in the sun for a bit.
Yeah, it's probably close to a third of the sun exposed now. Yeah. So yeah, I guess this concludes our broadcast day and our eclipse experience. Yeah, thank you so much to all of you for being on here with me and celebrating it with me, experiencing it with me. It's been a once in a lifetime experience that I will not soon forget. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being on here with me and experiencing this together. It's quite an experience. And with that, yeah, this concludes our broadcast day. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll catch up with you later in the week on the podcasts. And that's with an S, plural. Wednesday and Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time.